Something's amiss.
That's no good.
It's a brand new toy, so expect it to work.
What happens to peppers when it freezes? They just go soft
They get
and bad.
soggy.
You're collecting all the peppers, eh?
Picking
Holly?
a pack of pickled peppers.
You're picking a pack of pickled peppers.
Before the frost.
We're getting a frost next week, right?
Yes, on Tuesday, I think. This one's all soft and yucky.
Go to the birds.
Yeah.
What happens to peppers when it freezes? They just go soft
They get
and bad.
soggy. They get really soggy and yucky.
So we're just gonna pick up all of the peppers that we have left.
Freeze them. Put some in the fridge.
We've got a lot of good ones.
Yes, we do.
Are these red ones, are these the shishitos?
Yeah, they turn red after a while. Sometimes
Are
it
they
makes
still
them
edible?
sweet.
Can we still
Yeah, of
blister 'em?
course. Yeah, we've eaten them blistered. Ah! Stink bug.
Oh.
We've eaten them blistered a bunch. They're in the bag. There's so many. Yeah, there's so many. We're picking them all. We gotta pick them all. Get a big laugh.
You're doing it. How's this going? Are you just now doing it?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to step in there and keep an eye on that opening, see if it's doing what it should do. There goes nothing.
I can hear it. Not seeing any movement yet. All right, we're starting to get a little movement. And you can hear it.
Yeah, I'm a good inch.
This gap is closing. Oh yeah. Okay.
I mean, look at that.
Yeah, that's.
Now these may have warped a little bit. Well, they have, obviously.
But if you're level, you're level. You're going to be framing that out regardless. Yes.
Yes. Or spray foam.
Yeah.
Backer board, whatever in there. But so far I'm pleased.
So you're level. Do you think it needs another push?
Yeah. Of course, this board may not be exactly plumb either, but
Yeah, that's off.
wow. Wow. It has settled over the years significantly. I mean, and we're not even quite there yet.
You cutting that tree next to it?
Yeah. It'd help if I put a battery in.
What? We did not have enough juice. Yeah. They're bunched up.
Yeah. This is it's a brand new toy, so you expect it to work as advertised. And I ran a couple of nails into it previously, or through it, and it worked fine.
As soon as you needed it to do actual work.
Yeah, it didn't want to perform. Failure to launch.
All right, well,
yeah.
try it again, cross our fingers.
Yeah. Okay.
Same thing?
Same thing. Something's amiss.
That's no good.
No bueno.
I wonder if it's something super obvious.
Yeah, like I said, I threw 3 or 4 nails in down there and it worked just fine. But yeah, something, I don't think, it must be something I'm doing wrong, but I don't know what. Put up a little bit of a fight. But,
You got it out? So what was the issue, Dad?
what happened was, careful where I point that,
Yep.
there was a nail that was embedded. For some reason, it
It was vertical.
It went flat. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not exactly. Maybe it was something, operator error.
Yeah.
Could be. It's not the first time I've used a nail gun, but first time I've used this particular
Yeah.
one. So I may have.
Well, you got it out and tested it, and it's working.
Seems to be doing all right. Nice.
There we go. So our big task for today is covering this opening,
Right.
this gable,
Yeah.
whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
which has been open
Since
the
we
whole
moved
time since you moved in.
in. Yeah.
And so initially we were thinking we've got this OSB board, we can just cut out a triangle and plug it up, but it's not so simple.
Never is.
No, because the OSB board, the widest length doesn't match up. It's not wide enough for that. So we're going to need two pieces. And initially I was thinking, let's just cut it in half and do two triangles. But that won't work either because we've got these little cripple studs, whatever you call them, and there's not one down the center. So we'll need to
Bring it over to the one stud that's up there. So it's just a matter of getting the measurements correct. What I need to go back up there and do is find the apex, find where that is, so I can draw the right angle from this point to that apex.
okay, I am lined up right over the top on my end.
All right. Assuming I can make a straight cut and that my measurements are correct, then
That looks right.
it should work.
Yep.
Oops. How's that look on the other side?
From up here, it looks great. This
Yeah.
is beautiful.
Yeah, that
Is there
actually-
any?
No, that's
daylight
not
through
a
there?
concern.
That's beautiful. Stay up.
Good.
Nice.
And it seems to be pretty flush.
Yeah.
So when the time comes for siding, hopefully that'll be pretty straightforward.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well done. There are two things that look significantly different, and that's the overhanging ugly shingles, which are no longer up there, and of course that opening is now covered with OSB. This particle board is covering it, which is exactly what we wanted.
Yeah, have it ready for the siding.
So we've done, I think in this video, there's been three primary things. We opened this area out here.
Right.
We lifted the shed so that it's level.
Yep.
And we put them on these new posts. Are you gonna do anything else here, or is this just gonna be your footers?
Yeah, that's the way it is. That's
Okay.
the way it's going.
All right.
I did add some sand and some gravel underneath.
Below it?
Yeah,
Okay.
below it to hopefully mitigate a little bit of runoff, erosion, that kind of thing. And I'm thinking about putting, because I've got some extra 4x4s leaning up against the tree there. putting one up in the middle on both sides.
Just additional footers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because there's really nothing in place.
I was gonna say, it's
except
just
for the 4 corners.
It's just
Yeah.
open.
And I had talked to Jim about that, and he said, unless you're putting some real heavy stuff in there for a shed this size, that's okay. But just for peace of mind, and the fact that we're planning on putting a little deck out here, it'd be good to shore it up some more.
Awesome. And the third thing we did was cover this opening. One day there'll be a mini split on the other side of that.
Right. Yep. We
okay.
learned some things when it came to using the circular saw, the circ saw.
Do you want to share your discoveries?
Yeah. I guess the usual caveat in terms of this is for entertainment purposes only, not for do-it-yourself education. I have very limited experience using a circular saw. I can hold my own with a miter saw, with a table saw, but circ saw, not so much. And one of the things I learned today was instead of trusting the guide that's on the circular saw to line up and make your cut, best to just watch the blade as it's traveling down the line. Because I ended up with some curvy-wurvy, because every time I thought I was on the line, I'd look down and see I wasn't, and so I'd try to correct again, and it ended up... And in this case, it doesn't really matter so much.
This will be behind siding.
It'll be covered up, but... So, yeah, lesson learned.
What's next?
So I need to build a wall or frame out a wall. That far end right now is actually not even part of this shed. It's the other side of the adjoining shed. So it needs a wall.
A frame out.
So once it comes time to put some insulation and tongue and groove and that kind of thing, there's a wall ready for that. And then finding the places where I want to put the windows and the other door and start working on the framing for that. Because I'd like to have all of those openings ready before I start doing the wrap and the siding. So
it's exciting to see it kind of just now start to come together. I think it's going to look really nice. All right, busy day, lots that we took on in this video. What's next? Well, we need to plan out a processing day for our turkeys. Out of our 7 turkeys, Lenny, Laverne, and the 5 teenagers, we are going to process 4 of the teenagers. They're not quite ready yet. I have to double check with Kathy when they were born, just to double check and make sure that their processing date is right. It's going to be sometime in November or December. I'll check with her and get a date in the books to process those 4 turkeys. They're going to be delicious. I'm very excited about that. We need to winterize the garden. Now that we've been getting consistent frosts nearly every night, it's time to turn the page on the garden and get it ready for winter. So that's going to be a task. And I have to redo some of the beds, which I'll film that. Some of the beds are in rough shape. So I'm going to redo some of those, but also get it ready for the winter. I have some ideas about what I'm going to do in that regard. The attic renovation in our house, we decided that instead of doing the entire attic, there's 2 parts to our attic. There's a finished room and a big unfinished cavernous space. The original reason we thought about doing this whole renovation in the first place was because the room that we use up there, we use it as an office. It's way too hot in the summer. So what we're going to do is just focus on that room for now. We're going to tear down the drywall. We're going to take out the old insulation. We're going to get new insulation put in, probably the closed cell foam, spray-on foam. And then instead of putting drywall back up, we think we're going to put tongue and groove up. So it'll look cooler. It'll be a lot more functional in the summer. It won't be an oven. We'll get to hang out up there. And the big cavernous attic space, the other side, we're going to focus on that later on down the road. That's a project for later. With the way that things have been and our priorities, we just need to focus on one side of the attic at a time. So that does mean we need to get new quotes. That's fine. We'll get a new quote for just the half of the attic. And it'll be a quicker project. And there's not as much urgency around that. It just needs to get done before next summer. In the meantime, my other big focus is helping my dad with the bunkhouse. So we're gonna continue on that, along with these other projects that we've got lined up. And we're gonna take you along for the journey. So thanks for hanging out with us, guys, and until we see you again next time, from all of us here, including Lenny, remember, as always, slowly, slowly.